Welcome back to another episode of the Crown and College Podcast presented to you by the CSPN. I am one half of your host, Jeremy, aka Black Dante on Twitter, aka Confucius, aka Issa Durag, aka Don't Be Wildin' on Air Green's Internet, aka I hope that you have seen Black Panther because we are going to talk about it this goddamn episode of this podcast. And I am joined by someone new.
Hello, everyone. This is your new co-host, same as your old co-host. Nothing's changed except for my identity. I guess this is the coming out party for me. It's not about me at all. Like the show's going to talk about so much more than just me, obviously. But I, in the year follow 2018, have decided to take the steps to transition from man to woman, and it's kind of surreal hearing myself say that. Because for the most part, it's just been a matter of just doing it, but like now actually saying, because I don't have the option via this podcast to just do anymore. I have to actually say things. So anyway, yes, name I've chosen is Bianca. You can find me on Twitter at TallBiancaXO. Please fill my mentions with positive things and nice words and stuff. And I will warn that if you come at me incorrectly in my mentions, I will embarrass you in front of your friends and your family with no regards for either of their concerns about you, because this ain't the time and I ain't the one. So, hi, welcome, hello.
And there it is. So yes, welcome, Bianca.
Welcome to the most progressive podcast on CS. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just kidding. Like I said, it's still the same old me. Just yes, with that little bit of life context thrown in for good measure, I suppose. No point really at this point in like shielding that or keeping that behind the wall or anything like that. As I begin to open up in every other realm in my life, this was yet another one in which to do so. So,
New identity, same ain't shitness. So,
excuse you.
all right, okay,
Thank you.
all right, any damn way. But yes, so we had to get that church announcement out the way, and what better way than to let Bianca introduce herself. So yeah, but as she said, the ball keeps rolling, and we are still Crown and Collars. And if you like us, you can help us out by going to our website, cspn.us, and click that podcast tab and click Crown and Collars and listen to all of our episodes thus far. And if you like what you have to say, what we have to say, share the show, like the show, leave us comments on the website, rate us on the website, and also however you listen to your podcast through your podcast listening device. And if you really want to help us out, go to that Keep Our Podcast Free tab on the right hand of our website. Shout out all of our sponsors. It is of no extra cost to you. All it does is give our Boss Man Classic a portion of the brick to keep the lights on, and keep this show and all of our other wonderful shows on the network free. So you won't have to pay to listen to me sound like an unused car part or a fighter jet built from scratch. And with that said, yeah, thank you for everyone that's been rocking with us. And again, please fill Bianca's mentions with positivity. Don't come in there being a head ass, because not only will she embarrass you and she can hold her own, I will embarrass you. I'm trying to be a better person in 2018, but don't be a bigot in head. All right. Okay.
Woo, you could have just left good enough alone and said she's got this, and just kept it right there on the time on the good old on the cast. And like, I mean, granted, I've never really had to resort to this much in quite a while, but yeah, no, I still fry and I still rib and I still give it to you. And I will say that, like, if you're gonna make jokes, be good at it. That's all I care about.
Yeah,
like, I don't mind taking on jokes just in general. Never have, never will. But I do mind when your jokes are weak. And again, that's when it's like, all right, if you ain't coming at me correct, it's time to embarrass you in front of all the people you care about, and I will not apologize for it.
And there it is. Again, don't be weird on Al Green's internet. So with that said, now go ahead and tell you right goddamn now, for everyone that is listening to this podcast and hear the sound of my voice, this is going to be a heavy Black Panther episode. We're going to talk about the movie. If you have not seen it, don't listen to this episode. You can stop right now. Well, not right now, because we ain't going to talk about it right now. But after we get through our topics that we're going to talk about before we talk about the movie, go ahead and skip this episode. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. After you go see it, come back and listen to our hot takes about the movie and shit. Thank you. And I'm not one of those people that's like, well, if you hadn't seen it by now, because I don't do that, because I know the movie been out of, we've been knowing about it months in advance, shit, but listen, shit happens. And if anybody knows that, I know that. Shit just happens sometimes, and things don't go the way you damn planned it. So I get it. So if you haven't seen it yet, go see it, come back, and listen to us crack these jokes about the movie. So with that said, we're going to get through these first few topics, then we're going to get to talking about the movie, because I got some shit to say.
I will make the additional pledge of I will try to discuss the movie without spoiling it, because I've long rallied against like people like intentionally being obtuse and like obviously just openly blaring out watershed moments in movies and things. But the thing about that is it's two-pronged. One, I don't know what that line is, because I don't know what people's like capacity of what they've known about the series is, one. Right. And two, I don't consume very much media in general. I'm not much of a movies person. I don't watch very many TV shows. So I don't watch a lot of the things that, again, have this sort of spoiler alert / watershed moment, necessity. So I don't know what that line is. If in the show notes after we release this, and you hear it and it's like, whoa, that was too far, B. Like, if you want to, gently chide me for that, by all means, feel free to do so. This is like basically uncharted territory for me. I can't remember the last time I went to see a movie on opening weekend, so.
Right. So
it might have been Saw 3D if you really want like some reference, and it might have been late. It might have been before then, so I don't know.
Right. So, but with that said, let's talk about the other stuff we was going to talk about. So,
yes.
This was when is the date on the story? This was last week. It was the 17th. That was Saturday. The family of Corinne Gaines. Corinne Gaines was the young black woman who was killed by the police during a standoff in 2016. That also injured her 5-year-old son. The Baltimore County jury has awarded $37 million in damages to her family. I have it on the Washington Post. 6 female jurors decided in less than 3 hours that Royce Ruby, the Baltimore County officer who fired the fatal shots, violated the civil rights of Gaines, 23, and her son Cody. Ruby shot and killed Gaines on August 1st during a confrontation in Randallstown, a suburb of Northwest Baltimore City. If anybody's from Baltimore, and I said that wrong, that's listening to this podcast, please correct me. Let's see. Yeah, police serving a warrant for failure to appear in court over a traffic case keep the door in Gaines' apartment. To find her waiting with shotgun, the ensuing 6-hour ordeal ended with Ruby open fire and killing Gaines and injuring Cody. And the civil suit decision awarded more than $32 million to Cody, $4.5 million to his toddler sister Carson, and nearly $1 million among Gaines' parents, estate, parents and estate, the court document said. So, yeah, I mean,
it's a my goodness, it's like the most dubious step in the right direction you can imagine.
Yeah,
a big payout like that is, I mean, first and foremost, it's taxpayer dollars.
Yeah, I think that's the highest we done ever seen, isn't it?
I don't have that data at hand to say definitely one way or the other, but yeah, that's I will say this. I was thinking the family's going to get 1 million and we'll have to pull teeth to get that, and they won't get it for another year. So the fact that it came like this much and so many different people got these estates that they're gonna, that they're gonna have going forward. Again, it's a step in the right direction, but damn, like it still leaves that, Corinne Gaines size hole in that family's place. I mean, obviously nothing can bring her back, but I don't know. It helps in ways that such blatant negligence shouldn't have to come to in the first place. Because again, that's a taxpayer burden. That's not
right.
That's not like the sort of police union, whatever. Like, it's not private funds. That's the people of that community and surrounding neighborhood and the people who pay taxes to, amongst other things, that civil service line. They're paying for this.
Right. Like it's sadly and I agree with that. And also sadly, like you say, it's like it's sad that that's kind of like the most justice you gonna get. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't replace her. Like she's still gone. Like a family still lost their daughter. A mother still lost their daughter. A father still lost his daughter. My son still is without a mother. A daughter is still without a mother. Like it doesn't take away from her being here. It's just sad that that's pretty much the only kind of bad justice you're gonna get is money. You know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of like with all facets of fucked up shit. It's like with sexual assault and like the most you're gonna get probably is money because they more than likely probably not gonna go to jail and unless it's something in an extreme case like Larry Nassar, but the most you're gonna get is money. You know what I mean? Just like with these police shootings of black people, like the most justice we gonna get is money, or the city, or the force or whatever saying our bad, that was wrong. But it's like that doesn't fix the systemic issue. You know what I mean? Like it's a
right.
Right, it doesn't fix the systemic issue, and I don't know how we reconcile that. You know what I mean? Like knowing that it's
right. It's just like I guess to put a bonus, like what's could we have taken a smaller award if that police officer, is fired, never works again, and then like some amount of that money is dedicated to improve police training, so that there's no more repeats of this.
Right.
And then what's that number? Like, how do we earmark that even? Is there a fund set aside for that already? Like, it feels like, again, every issue isn't getting fixed. And not that you can fix every issue in one fell swoop necessarily, but like, what are the signs? Where's the proof of progress? And what word do we have that, like, we're going to do all we can to ensure that this never happens again?
Right. Like, are we gonna overhaul the police, the way we police? Are we gonna overhaul the policemen, making sure, are we gonna be more active with the community and build that trust? Or, are we gonna get, work with the community so the community can police the community, so it won't be like someone like an outsider or policing people that they don't have an attachment to, you know what I mean? So it's like, and again, I'm not begrudging Corinne's family or nothing, you know, for taking the money.
Right.
You know, I am glad they had got some semblance of form of justice. You know, it's just how.
Yeah, no, we're just kind of spitballing what other or what alternate like next steps could be taken to supplement this, because that's really what it's all about. Like, it's great. Like, there's no way to see it as anything other than a net positive that her family is going to be set up in the ways that they are. But it's worth asking, like, wow, this was the cost for that? Like, really?
Right. So, you know, but you know, I get peace to Corinne's family, and may she rest in peace and power. And shame on all those people. You know, when this first happened, saying that like she deserved it, or you know, and basically victim blaming her, or you know, and all that stuff. Shame on those people.
Mm-hmm.
Shame on those people. Um, speaking of people, speaking of shame. So Ray Caruth, Ray Caruth, if you don't know who Ray Caruth is, Ray Caruth was an ex Panthers wide receiver who went to jail for murdering his was it his wife or his girlfriend at the time?
It was his girlfriend at the time.
Okay.
She was pregnant, which is also important to note.
Right. Murdering his pregnant girlfriend at the time. Because wasn't it because he didn't want to pay child support or something to that effect?
Well, what it was he didn't want her to have the baby at all, and
Yeah.
because she was going to go through and have the baby anyway, he ordered this hit on her on some whole like, well, I'm not paying child support, so it's either me or the baby, and I guess they had another like war words in terms of that, and then he was like, nope, like you got to die basically, and so. Yeah, he orders these two hitmen. Like, one of them was charged for driving the getaway car. One was charged for actually like pulling the trigger or what have you. And this was in 97, 98. No, it was in like 99, I think, when this happened.
And
Yeah, so 99, he had just finished, I think, his third season in the NFL. So he was, setting up to get a pretty big payday. And then, like, this happens. And apparently he's set to be released later this year. Yeah, word came out that so what happened was, again, so he shot the mom, the baby survived the shooting. Oh my goodness. This I didn't know. So apparently he stopped his car in front of hers, and then another vehicle drove along, and then the passenger rolled down the window and opened fire.
mm-hmm.
And then he drove away. And then there's the part that we all know about, because Steve Harvey was the one who I think was the comedian who took this one on, talking about how big a fucking idiot he was hiding in the trunk of his car.
Yeah, and Kings of Comedy, he was like, "Get your black ass out that truck."
Right.
But yeah, I got part of the apology of it because he did an interview about it. I got to pull it up here. This is from the Washington Post, but yeah, he now 44. He broke that silence Monday, sending a letter to the Charlotte TV station and subsequently telling it in an interview from prison that he was apologetic for the death of Sharika Adams. Cruz directed his apology to Adams' mother, who has been taking care of his son since he was delivered by emergency cesarean section, with Adams dying several weeks after being shot 4 times while in her car. For her part, Sandra Adams said Monday that while she wants Cruz to have a role in her grandson's life, the ex-football player will never have custody because now the nigga want custody of the child. Let's see. He says, but still.
Which, I mean, I couldn't imagine having the courage after ordering a hit on somebody and going through that whole ordeal to then feel like, no, like, I want to raise this child. Like, are you fucking nuts?
That is some balls. And I'm not saying that in a good way. That is some nerve. That is
right. Like, that is like a life-altering amount of nerve to have.
Right. Okay. I got I went to the Charlotte. This holy shit, this nigga. Okay. Holy shit, yeah, this is a 16-page letter, and I ain't gonna read all this shit. I thought it had like a condensed version. But yeah, this nigga wrote 16 goddamn pages, and in the words of Lauren, nigga, who reading all this shit?
Right.
But they do have cliff notes. Says, quote, I'm apologizing for the loss of her daughter. I'm apologizing for the impairment of my son. I feel responsible for everything that happened, and I just want her to know that I am truly sorry for everything. Ruth, though, said in the interview and his 15-page letter that he was making his thoughts public to rebuke the lies he claimed Adams has made about his state of contrition and the nature of his past relationship with herself and her daughter. Quote, if I say publicly, Miss Adams, I apologize. Miss Adams, I take responsibility for what happened. She can no longer get on television and do an interview and say, Ray has never apologized to me, Caruth told the station.
Ew.
In his letter, Caruth told Adams, for too long, you've used my silence against me. For once, I feel the need to finally speak up for myself and hopefully put an end to all this. He also thanked the 36-year-old for the unconditional care, compassion, love, and support she had given his son, Chancellor Lee Adams.
Oh, God, he's so annoying.
Quote, fuck this nigga. Okay. Quote, I mean, come on, Miss Adams. The reality is you aren't going to be around forever, Caruth wrote. At some point, someone else will have to take responsibility for Chancellor's care. I would like to be in a position to seriously considered as a viable option. Boy!
This nigga just doesn't get it.
Boy, you have learned nothing. You have learned absolutely... First of all, you killed your whole ass pregnant girlfriend because you didn't want to have this damn child. Like, you did that. Didn't nobody do that shit but you. You did that. You ordered a fucking hit on your pregnant girlfriend because you were too chicken shit and not man enough to have some fucking responsibility and take care of your goddamn child. What? Second of all, the damn audacity to tell the mother of the person that you killed that they ain't gonna be around forever and that you need to be the one to take care of your son after you didn't want him in the first fucking place and killed his mother. Boy, Rekaru, boy, fuck you. Boy, fuck you. Use your silence against me. You killed her daughter and abandoned your son. The fuck are you talking about your silence? Using your silence against you. What the fuck you go? Well, you know, I mean, that goddamn Ray Caruth, I mean, he just murdered my daughter and killed and abandoned his son. I mean, what else you want me to say? That's what the fuck happened. That's what the fuck happened. You did that.
Right?
What? Huh? What? How did somebody punch you in the face and then them gaslighting you about, well, are you sure you punched me in the face? What? What? He does not get it. I hope to God that he never gets custody of his son. And I know that ain't my situation. I know that ain't my child, but I mean, come the fuck on. Come the fuck on. Man. Her mama, Miss Sandra spoke. She says, I've forgiven Ray already, and which, child, you better than me, cuz.
Right?
You better than me, Miss Sandra, cuz. But she says, I've forgiven Ray already, but to have any type of relationship with him, there does have to be some repentance. And that goddamn show ain't going to be with him still not fucking getting it and trying to gaslight and blame you for him being a horrible human being. She continues. that wasn't her, that was me.
Right.
And I think this opens the door, but I can definitely say he's not ever going to have custody of Chancellor. Chancellor will be raised either by me or after I'm gone, someone who loves him and knows him. He will never be raised by a stranger, someone that doesn't know how and who tried to kill him. Right. You want custody of this child and you tried to kill him. Because in killing his mother, you almost killed him. Like, what the fuck? Boy, in the words of Kid Fury, what is wrong with niggas?
Yes, is my answer.
His mama better than me. I say that because I'll tell him a swift fuck you. Boy, fuck you. Fuck you and everything you stand for. So that's that. One more thing. I got a story, and this is gonna tie into something that we were supposed to talk about before, but it slipped my mind and I forgot. But so I've been trying to find another job because I'm tired of driving out 285 every goddamn day, and that shit taking a toll on my goddamn gas tank. And also, I always said, like, when I moved up here, I was going to wait and try to get at least like a year or two of experience in my field before I started looking for better at my job. So I've been trying to get another job also because my company is on some bullshit, but that's another story for another day. So I've been trying to get a job, and I had an interview, and I had a job, and it seemed like it was going good. And these niggas ain't called me back because one of the reasons I'm trying to leave is because they severely underpaying me, and a lot of people at the company, honestly. And so this new job was like, would you be willing to come work with us, but for the same thing that you making at your current job? And in my mind, I'm like, bitch, are you crazy? Like, no. Like, I'm trying to leave this job to get more money, not make the same money. Like, are you okay? What? Like, what? If I wanted to make the same thing, the fuck I'd be applying to y'all for? So I noticed that since I told them, like, hey, look, I'm not trying to work for the same thing I'm making now, but I am willing to negotiate. I do want higher, I do want more, but I'm willing to negotiate, but I'm not going to work for the same thing I'm working for now. And so them niggas ain't called me back. I ain't talked to me since, and that was like 3 weeks ago. And had made it to like almost like the final phase and everything. I was like one of the top 2 final choices they had to make or whatever. But it reminded me that, listen, it's not about what people are willing to pay you. It's about your worth. And everybody want more money. Like, don't nobody want to work for what they think they feel is less deserving. You know what I mean? Like, don't nobody want to work. Nobody with some damn sense. Don't nobody want to work for fucking 50 cents when you know your work is more worth a fucking dollar. Like, don't nobody want to be lowballed and short change. So I say that short story to say, I know it's been weeks and everybody done had their hot takes and their opinions and all this, that, and the third about this, about the Monique situation with her and Netflix. And to be perfectly honest, you can have whatever opinion you want. I really don't care. That's your opinion and your opinion alone, and I have mine. And I know that some of the things that have come out about Netflix, Netflix look a little funny in the light. On certain stuff, Monique look a little funny in the light. And listen, again, you can have your opinion. I'm not gonna argue with you about it. and that's just what it is. With that said, my whole hot take on my whole stance on it has been, and it has been from the start and has remained on it. Everybody want more money. And it ain't about what you're worth, it's about what you can get and what you demand. And for me, myself personally, if the price of the brick don't went up and I'm making 5 and the top dog making 19 and the person that realistically is closer to me is making 12, then I'm not saying I need top dog money, but you damn sure gonna pay me more than 5. I'm gonna at least get 10. And I feel like, and again, you can feel however you feel about it or whatever. I feel like that was Monique's mentality. I think she fucked up from jump saying boycott, which I honestly don't think she meant in the literal sense, but people take stuff literal when they want to, which, is also fine or whatever. But I think if she hadn't led with, like, let's boycott Netflix, it wouldn't have been such a big thing and more people would have been understanding. But even still, like, I can pretty much say for everybody that everybody enjoy getting more money and everybody feels like they're worth more than what they're getting. So again, my stance on it has been, listen, young nigga get paid and get more money. So, if the price of the brick 20 and the top dog getting 19 and you only getting 2, negotiate that shit and get you at least 8 or 10 or however, but don't settle for no motherfucking 2. And so that's really just my opinion on it. We were supposed to talk about it weeks ago, but it just slipped on my, we had no shit to talk about. Bianca, you got anything to add?
I mean, I think you hit it all really. Like, there was a lot that, again, both sides kind of dropped the ball on in their own ways. And I don't know, like, her pockets couldn't have been hurting but so bad if she was able to squat on $500,000 in that way. And no, I don't begrudge anybody for trying to go get more. I really don't. So
pretty much. Literally my stance on it. It really ain't no deeper. For me, it literally ain't no deeper than that. Just young nigga get more money. That's really where I have been with it since the start. That's really been my stance on it the whole time.
Yeah, my thing is, I mean, LeBron James is underpaid right now, so like I can
right.
I can be a little underpaid. I can't be a lot underpaid.
There you go. You know what? That's perfect. I can be a little underpaid, but you damn sure ain't gonna a lot underpay me. So, yeah. So, with all that said, Black Panther. Now,
wait. We need a buffer here. Okay, so we're now entering the Black Panther discussion zone. I'm trying to do like this 15-second thing on purpose because that's what the rewind and fast forward function is on on iTunes podcast anyway. I don't know about the other system. I don't know if they do 15, 30s, 10s, 5s, whatever. But yes, this is me just intentionally putting some space in between our Black Panther discussion and actually jumping into it. There might be spoilers. I can't say there are, and I can't say there aren't. And that's as kind as I'm going to be able to be about this.
yeah.
So,
yeah, more or less. So
let's take a magical journey to Wakanda, shall we?
Let us go to Wakanda. We are home. So first of all, I would just like to say I love this movie. I think it was a great standalone movie as well as a great movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think it was well directed. I think it was well written. I think it gave us lore. It gave us story. It gave us humor. It gave us action. It was beautifully shot too, and shout out to it being shot here in Georgia and in the Metro Atlanta area. I don't know how the fuck they did it and made the goddamn mountains look that goddamn beautiful. But hey, listen, I'm not complaining. Shout out to Georgia, because I think, as a matter of fact, they're shooting um, parts of they're shooting Ant-Man and the Wasp in downtown Atlanta. So shout out to Atlanta for being like trying to being out here, being a little hub for movies and shit and stuff. So shout out to Atlanta. But
New Orleans been on that wave.
Girl, fuck you. But anyway,
fine, be that way.
It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, I love this movie. I loved it. What about you before we get into what
I did too. So I attended a private screening here in Portland, and it was a blackety black ass private screening. I know that's hard to believe given that, it's Portland we're talking about, but apparently there were multiple movie theaters that, people put on watch parties at in that way, so that like Black Portland, small as it is, could mount up and rise up. Mount up and get together and represent and be black and be colorful and be us in a theater, which was really nice.
Yes, it was powerful niggatry at work, yeah.
Yes. And so I sat on the row with like all my homegirls, and then like over to my left were like these folks who threw these skate parties, these blackety black ass skate parties, like their parents sat on our row. But other than that, like it was just like all us, like, right in my age range. Like we hooped and hollered and had food snuck in and everything else.
BV Black.
It was a good time. What was your setup like?
I saw it Sunday actually. It was I went to like an AMC theater. Like shit, well, kind of like like in Druid Hills, kind of.
Okay.
But it was cool. Like I could tell like it was like a mixed crowd and shit. But I could tell it was most of the niggas, because in typical nigga fashion, it was niggas that were behind me, because I went with one of my friends, and it was niggas behind us that went shut the hell up enjoying the goddamn movie. It was niggas trying to fight niggas about seats and shit. Line was hella long. Some niggas couldn't properly coordinate to get their goddamn tickets. That damn line was long. Some of the lines were long as the pastor's anniversary. But the setup was pretty good. We sat on like not the front row, but like close to the front.
Okay, yeah, we were. It wasn't a big room that we were in. They certainly could have done a fewer giveaway tickets. They had chosen to buy more to give away in that way. But I'd say we were about 85% full in the hall with us, and yeah, I sat about 3 rows up. It wasn't like the biggest theater in the world, and I only needed to be so high up to make sure my neck didn't hurt, like looking up at the screen the whole time. So I sat there, had the little colorful head wrap on, and everybody else in my rows represented in various other like either colorful or outright African like regalia. It was really nice. And yeah, super fun. Because something happened, something big on screen happened, and like we just kind of reacted like a family. Basically, it was great.
Yeah, pretty much. Same. Like especially like I said, like the parts, the humorous parts. Like everybody, caught it and reacted to it. Reacted to it at the same time, and it wasn't. It was niggas talk. Of course, it was niggas talking to the screen and rooting for their faves or whatever. But it was good. It was a black ass movie, and it was a black ass experience, and I absolutely loved it. And Nick and nigga, the success this shit had. Let me tell you, this motherfucking film got all of the money. All of it. It racked in all of it. I think it's the highest selling. It was the highest selling Marvel movie to date, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I think only The Dark Knight Rises had a bigger opening weekend, but I think that movie hit like the perfect storm on everything. In terms of like time of year it was released, and like fanfare building up for it. It had the Heath Ledger passing obviously was a big factor. So yeah, The Dark Knight Rises again set like this super high threshold, but in 2018 when we have so many different ways to consume our media that we want, and we have so many different ways to options to plan on doing stuff. We can wait for Redbox, we can wait for Netflix, we can wait for whoever to carry it offline. Like the fact that so many people showed up and showed out in the theaters is just like, that's the real beauty of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the real beauty of it. Like, we showed up. We represented. So
right.
Unlike
niggas came out in force.
Unlike somebody who wrote that she had to go to Los Angeles to see the movie because she didn't feel like Portland was gonna have a black enough showing, which I was just like, that's weird. Okay. Up until a point where she admitted in her article that she wrote that like she works from home and lives in a mostly white neighborhood. And it was like, just gotta swing that door open sometimes.
Yeah, mistakes were made.
Basically.
But yeah, I absolutely love this. So, first of all, fuck Wakabi.
Oh, we got another Paul Pierce situation on our hands.
Fuck that.
Was not ready for this.
Fuck that nigga. But you know what? Before we do that, before I get my rants on, you said that the Dark Knight joint came at a perfect time. I think this came at a perfect time, especially for Black people. Because like the political commentary in this movie, like I say, it was really well written. Like they trolled the fuck out of white people, and that shit had me fucking howling.
Yes. Yo, when old boy was trying to talk and he started barking.
Right. Right.
I almost lost my shit at that part. It was just like,
right. The how they trolled white people, and like I said, the sass in the damn movie. Like first of all, the real MVP, Queen Shuri. Nothing but respect for my future president. Protect Shuri at all costs. She to me, she was the real MVP and stole the show. She was my favorite character in the whole movie. But yes, they trolled the fuck out of white people. And I think, especially in the political climate that we're in, and even not even right now, but just like we can take this far as back as like Ferguson and Trayvon Martin, like when like the Black Lives Matter movement kind of like really popped up, and like how different people had different ideas, even to this day, of like revolution and progress and all that stuff. I feel like the subject matter, I feel like it was very poignant and timely, and it touched on a lot of stuff that that people have been kind of conflicted with and in turmoil with, like these past, like
about 6 years, we could say.
Yeah, about 6 years counting, because I would say it's been 4 years since Mike, and then 2 since Trayvon.
Yeah, another 2, because his shit happened in 2012, and
yeah,
I remember it was summer 2013 when everyone was like, "Oh my goodness!" Like they can't believe they fucking decided that in the court of law. But anyway,
yeah. But yeah, I think it just hit the mark. It just hit the mark. And as we can see, like it did spark a lot of philosophical debates and stuff on Twitter and stuff. And you know what? Let me say this while we're here. Let me say this. If it was just a movie for you, that is perfectly okay. Nobody is forcing you to think deeper than it just being a movie. Or if you just like it as just a Marvel movie and don't like all the other stuff, subtle stuff in it, like the blackity black shit, that is okay too. What is not okay is being a head ass and being an asshole to people who, my gosh, even dare to look at some of the aspects of the movie in a critical or in a deep lens. It is perfectly fine. It is perfectly okay for you to want to have your jokes and the next person to want to have their woke. And both of those things can coexist in peace, and it don't have to be butting heads and both groups being assholes towards each other. Because I saw a lot of that shit.
Right.
Especially like I want to say like the past. It wasn't so bad when the movie first came out, but it's like the past 2 days, I'm seeing a lot of that shit, and it's really annoying, honestly, and really fucked up because people want it both ways. People want to pick and choose when they can have their jokes and when they can have their woke, and don't want to be silenced on either or, but also don't want other people to be afforded that same thing. Like people, because I've been seeing a lot of that shit, and I just been like, y'all are. It's like I say, the outrage at the outrage is usually more annoying than the outrage itself, and I saw a lot of that shit, and I just want people to let people have their opinions. If you just wanted it to be a good movie and you thought no deeper than that, that is perfectly okay. It is also perfectly okay for people to look in some of the deeper aspects and have a philosophical discussion about it. That is okay too. It don't have to be either or. But with that said, um, with that said, so what were yours? Let's do it like this. Who was your favorite character, and who was your least favorite character?
My favorite character, I would have to say, um, and I think this has been it's more of a revelation to me than anything else. But my God, like so I had not seen any of the movies that Lupita Nyong'o was in. I hadn't seen 12 Years a Slave. I can't watch it. I refuse to. I didn't see Queen of Katwe. I've seen photos of her, and you can search my old screen name and like Lupita, and you can see that I've generally said very positive things about her all the time. Like always, like praising like how pretty she is, whatever. But seeing her like in real live motion, oh my fucking God. Like I had no idea she was that drop dead gorgeous.
Yeah. Also shout out to again, one thing I mentioned earlier, like you can tell like this was shot for black people because everybody's skin looked amazing.
Everybody's shit was popping. Like it was a legit work of art.
Right. And that's how you could tell like when shit is and this has been a topic, well, not a topic, but people have said this lately, and I've been kind of paying attention to it, and I agree. Like, you can tell when some shit is shot specifically for black people because of how, like, our skin is and how, how many different shades and stuff it is and how, the different layers and shit. Like, certain lighting makes us look absolutely stunning, and other things where it wouldn't. And you can tell, like, they paid attention to that because everybody's and I know people have worn it out, and people are tired of hashtag melanin, but everybody's melanin was popping in this damn movie.
Yes.
And I did.
So anyway, yeah, I'm a big fan of Nike. Yeah, Shuri. I mean, protect Shuri at all costs. I'm super interested in like, and I know this will never happen. This is nothing more than a pipe dream of mine. Super interested in a story about Okoye's rise through the Dora Milaje and like how she again got to the top and like how she came to be revered by her peers basically and gain that respect and gain that trust. Would be something I was super interested in. Least favorite character. Ooh. It's hard to say. It really is. And like not that I'm using it as a cop out, but like it's hard to look at that movie and then not go like fucking colonizer and then just like make that like the easy way out, you know?
Yeah.
Or another thing not that big of a fan of is the headassery surrounding Killmonger's character.
Woo! We'll get to that.
Yeah, we won't get to that. He's a likable character for very dubious reasons, and I think I'll just leave my discussion to him at that for now.
Right, until we get more into it.
Yeah, but no, I don't think I have a character who like I don't like. When I saw you swinging at Wakabi, I was like, oh okay.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you why, but yeah. So for me, obviously, my favorite is Shuri. I feel like she, in my opinion, I feel like she was a real MVP. She had the perfect blend of purpose, sass, in the movie. Like she was constantly either trolling white people or trolling her brother. She was the real MVP. She was the head princess in charge. And I don't know how they're going to I don't know where they're gonna go with it, because some of the things in the movie and even in the Marvel series in general have deviated a little bit from the comic. So I don't know where they're gonna take it, but in the comics, she does take over for T'Challa as Black Panther, because he was for a temporary period because he was in a coma. So I feel like they've kind of set that framework up a little bit. If they decide to go do that canonically with the comic and the movie, especially with Infinity War coming up, because T'Challa ain't gonna die because he still got to make more movies, but he probably gonna get knocked the fuck out. So because Thanos is coming, but but yeah. So I love Shuri. I love that girl, and shout out to hold on, wait, because I do not want to mess up her name. I want to get her name. Letitia Wright. She played. I hope I pronounced her name right. She played
Letitia Wright. Yep.
Letitia. She played the fuck out of. She played the fuck out of Shuri, and I love Shuri. My least favorite character is Wakabi. Fuck that nigga. Fuck that nigga. His my hate for him is that on par of that with my hate for Paul Pierce. Fuck that nigga and everything.
Good Lord. Wow.
Fuck that nigga and everything he stand for. Nigga turned his whole ass back on his best friend and king and his lover and the baddest woman in Wakanda, and then gaslit Okaye. Is that how you say it? That's it, right?
The leader of the Dora Milaje?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Then gaslit her, talking about something, you really gonna kill me, my love? After knowing fully goddamn well you was wrong and was about to kill her, turning on her and the rest of them. Fuck Wakaye. All because a stranger danger ass nigga brought a dead white man to you. Fuck you, Wakaye. Fuck that nigga. It was so many niggas in my goddamn mentions came for that motherfucker talking about, well, you got to tell the whole story. It wasn't just any old dead white man. It was Claw who killed his parents and some other people in there. Well, okay, we gonna tell the full motherfucker story then. Claw, yes, Claw did kill those people. Yes, he did. But you know who gave Claw the access and the weaponry and the means to kill them? Killmonger's dad, who was a goddamn traitor. So if we're telling the whole fucking story, the motherfucker wasn't alone, and the motherfucker, and even still, Wakaye's still a goddamn coward and turncoat and traitor, and I hate that nigga. And he's spineless kid. Yes, man, he ain't got no goddamn heart, no integrity, or no guts. I can't respect the nigga that's gonna turn on his woman. It's bad enough you turn on your best friend.
Yeah, it's about that time. You getting a little too charged up.
Listen, I've been waiting on this. I text you. Listen, I've been waiting on this. I have been waiting, waiting to unleash this rage on that nigga. Fuck that nigga. Fuck him. Fuck him and everybody that love him. Okay, I'm done.
You sure?
Yeah. I'm sure. I'm done. No, seriously, positive. I'm done.
Oh goodness.
But anyway, speaking of Eric, so
yo, have you seen the outburst of like, oh man, he kind of had a point. He kind of had a point. Have you caught wind on like a lot of that or?
Have I? It's been all up down my goddamn timeline. Fucking David Banner earlier today was talking about why y'all making Killmonger out to be a villain. He seemed like a good guy that was for his people. And I was like, of course David Banner Hotep ass was saying.
Right? I'm like, counterpoint, he was a fucking villain. Like, let's do our reading, let's do our words.
You know what's sad? You know what's sad? Even though he was the villain, and listen, I'm saying this and I promise you no. I empathized to an extent and understood how Killmonger got to how he got to it. And had a little bit of sympathy for him more than I did with Kanye. Fuck that nigga.
Based on what he represented and nothing else, like in the movie, like you can call his character like arc-wise, he was the representation of Black American anger, which is in terms of setting up someone to be like your perfect villain or what have you, like he's the perfect one to be set up in that way. And so, where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. And so, like, a lot of the sort of tiptoeing around, like, oh, was he a villain? Did he have a point? And all that, what have you. Like, he stood for, a on its face good thing, but sometimes what you stand for and how you go about getting it can be so divergent that, like, you lose people on the way to, like, on their way to your message.
I mean, we gonna break it down to its core. The nigga Killmonger represented people who don't want liberation, they want power.
Right.
Because his plan on the surface, like, first of all, the nigga, his black power shit, I knew what the nigga was about. It's a couple instances that show you all you need to know about Killmonger's character. First of all, the nigga killed his ride or die girlfriend in cold blood.
Right?
That should let you know first of fucking all, something ain't right with this nigga. Cause if you about this black power shit and you got, you know what? It's so funny. Like you got like as the hotel say, a queen beside you, ride or die. She said sorry before he pulled the trigger and killed her and Claw. Like what killed her to get the Claw. Like that alone should let you know at the very least, okay, something ain't right. Like you killed your whole ass girlfriend and ain't batting out one goddamn till eye, whatever the fuck. So he like his plan, okay, give Wakanda has all these resources and everything because of the vibranium there. Give it back to the people. He saw the suffering of American people and he was suffering internally because of what he did.
Right.
Because of what he went through because of how his father died as his uncle. Which, by the way, I loved. T'Chaka was wrong, but I loved how goddamn T'Challa got his ass together on the astral plane. Listen, when he said you were wrong, listen. You were wrong. You were all wrong.
Yeah, that was definitely one of those like bite your tongue moments.
Yes, yeah. But you know what? When he said that, I was like, and right there is when I knew T'Challa really ready to be king. Because T'Challa also was fighting the internal struggle of like not being able to move on from his dad's death. But right then and there, in that moment, I was like, yeah, you ready for it now.
You gotta remember, this movie is like these events are happening right after the Civil War movie. So...
Right. Which also, it wasn't lost on me that Killmonger, albeit very different situations, Killmonger was what T'Challa was in Civil War up until the end.
Mm.
Because in Civil War, T'Challa was hell bent on revenge and wouldn't listen to reason up until the end when he found out that it was really Zemo crazy ass plan to break up the Avengers and shit. And that T'Chaka was just a casualty of that he didn't mean to kill him, but still, like, he wasn't hearing none of that shit. He didn't even, he tried to hear that Bucky wasn't really the one that killed him up until the end. And I feel like T'Challa had got a chance for redemption, but I feel like Eric didn't. But also due to the fact that he was so consumed in his sorrow and anger, he wasn't listening to reason anyway. Now, it did, in my opinion, it's a cliffhanger on whether he really died or not, in my opinion. Because I definitely can see that being a case where he just succumbed to his wounds in that moment, but T'Challa got his ass to Shuri in time to heal him. Because, I mean, we being perfectly honest, we all seen how Eric can fight. They finna fight Thanos. They need all the help they can goddamn get. But anyway, back to the point of, like, once Eric's pro-blackness, like, he was pro-black only to himself and people who went along with his shit. Like, nigga, first of all, the nigga burned the goddamn heart-shaped flowers that was the key to the Black Panther's power, and also for future generations. Like, the nigga thought, like, once, like, the Black Panther, like, it ended and began, it began and ended with him. Like, once he got thrown, ain't no more damn Black powers. This my shit now. If but it's like, nigga, one, you not gonna live forever. None of the Black Panthers have lived forever. Two, you need the power of the Black Panther and those that come after you to protect Wakanda. And also, it is tradition. How you pro-black, and this is what the ancestors would have wanted and stuff, and then you burning shit from the ancestors. And then when the elder tried to tell him, this nigga went out and this nigga choked out somebody, Mima, who made the good potato salad.
That was the point where he lost me in the movie, by the way.
Right.
And
I mean, shooting and killing his girlfriend was bad enough. It made me side eye him. But when he did that, when he burnt the flowers plus choked her out, I was like, okay, all right, you.
And I've had a mean side eye on reserve for everybody who has reacted to, like, him choking her up with, like, some degree of, like, excitement, I guess. Like, I've seen, like, the meme, when he choked up Ramonda and was like, you do what I say when I say to do it, or whatever the line was. I was like, how in the world, like, is your sort of neuropathical reaction to to that instance, so that scene, one of, like, arousal? And then I remember that maybe that shit's not for me to understand because I'm not, like, yeah, I'm transitioning. I'm not in the guy. It's like I don't see it that way for men. So fear not, want not. All you men listening to this. But no. I just I struggle with that, and
yeah, I saw that too. And it's not. I'm not a woman, cis or trans, so I understand that that's a thing among women where it's like some women, they don't want a nigga, like, beating them and putting their hands on them, but it's like, I guess, kind of like the aggressiveness, or not the aggressiveness, the assertiveness that draws an arousal. But in that wasn't assertiveness. Unless you went to, like, some BDSM kink shit, that wasn't assertiveness. That was horrible aggression. Like, I thought he was finna kill her.
Right, that was a nigga just being an asshole. Like,
yeah. And then she was trying to learn him something that if you don't take up this role of Black Panther, you gotta accept all that comes with that. Like, it's not just about you being this badass that got superhuman strength and you a king and people gotta do what you say. You have responsibilities. Like, when you take up that mantle, you take up that throne, all the responsibilities that have come before, that have come before you and will come after you, fall on your shoulders. And like, what if something, God forbid, what if something happens to you? You have no heir. You know what I mean? And they will have to pick another Black Panther, and they will have to use the heart-shaped fruit, the heart-shaped flower. Like that's how the line keeps going, and you gonna burn all that shit. You know what I mean? So it's like when he did that, I was like, okay, you really about yourself and your own pain and anger. And by the way, I understand the pain and anger because that was fucked up. And again, T'Chaka was wrong, but at the same time, it's a Killmonger is a classic character of hurt people hurt people.
Yes.
And even if a hurt person has a good idea, if they're so consumed by their hurt and anger, that good idea can easily manifest into a bad idea. Because, and even T'Chaka said it, like during that fight, like he became what he hated. Like you don't, and I said this on Twitter, like you don't beat the oppressor by becoming the oppressor.
Right.
And that's what Killmonger was doing. Not only was he like, cause that saying the what he said, he learned from his enemies, the oppressors. Like if you using the oppressor's tactics on the oppressor, then okay, I still kind of can't rock with it, but I can at least understand that a lot more than you using the oppressor's tactics on your own people. That's what that nigga was doing.
Right. And people were finding really creative ways to defend that, which I just found strange. Like,
I found it strange, but I kind of understood it to a degree because, like you said, like he's a representation of black anger in America and honestly probably all over the world. Like he like it, because I've seen conversations like that where like you know, black people, like marginalized people, anybody, like you get to a point where you're like, I don't know, like we're not gonna get free doing like this peaceful, I don't know the proper word what I'm trying to articulate, but you know what I mean, like non-militant, like kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like I get that frustration, I get that anger, but when it gets to a point where you taking that anger and that militantness, I don't know if that's a word, but I just made it up, run with it, and using it on your own people, nah, man. Cause like this nigga, I mean, somebody brought it up on Twitter. This nigga was finna give fucking Wakanda technology to fucking Crips and Bloods. Like, do you honestly think that's okay? Like, do you think that's a good idea? You was about to give niggas in Compton fucking the hand guns that Shearer had. Like, boy, are you stupid? What? How is this a good idea? Nakia, honestly, I think is the bridge between, and someone brought this up, I think Nakia was the bridge between T'Challa and Eric, with the militantness of Eric, but also the compassion and the humanity of T'Challa.
Right. Yeah, she definitely managed, both. And in a way, I think she understood. And I think she was the one who has been like, like the way you're going about this is all kind of messed up. But if you take this concept and adjust it in this way, like we can use you. Like we can definitely use your ideas, and we can use your passion, and we can use your intensity, like to help people out. But he ain't want no parts of that. He was just trying to
somebody's anger because, like, really, and I like he. It was so weird that he was so mad at T'Challa. Like, if anybody, I feel like he should have been mad at T'Chaka. Because
T'Chaka, right.
Yeah, T'Chaka.
And I mean, he took it out on T'Challa, which, lineage,
whatever, but he passed on to the son. And how the saying goes, ain't it?
Say it again?
The sins of the father shall be transferred on the son or something like that.
I guess.
It's something like that.
It sounds good.
Yeah. But yeah, like, and it's like, T'Challa was like, bro, like, my dad was wrong. Like, we cousins. Like, I don't want to fuck you up or kill you or whatever, but you wilding right now. Like, you
right.
like, you my whole ass blood, my nigga. Like, we can. Like, I don't want to kill you, but like, you wilding right now.
But you trying it. So like
Right,
back.
that nigga was about to kill Sure. I was like, nah, fuck this, T'Challa, kill him.
Back up off me, man. Don't step on my sneakers.
Right. Listen, what are those?
Oh yeah, sure, he got his ass.
Sure, listen, I love Sure. I do. That was when I was like, oh no. Like, at that point I was kind of hoping that they could still save him. But once he was about to kill Sure, I was like, nah, fuck this nigga. Like, kill him. I'm sorry. Kill him. Oh. But yeah, like, T'Chaka was, I mean, not T'Chaka, Killmonger, Eric was not right. Eric was hurt and angry, and understandably so. But he was not right. Like, that, you can only do so much with that militant shit. You know what I mean? Like, you can only accomplish so much with being militant and being angry. Not saying that's not a valid emotion, and not even saying it can't be effective, but you have to be strategic and effective with your militantness and anger while also having empathy and humanity. Because what's the point of liberation if you use your humanity?
Right, exactly. Like,
so what's the point of freedom if, like I said, like, you become just as bad as your oppressor? Like, the goal shouldn't be to, it's like one of those hang-ups that, you know, often black men, cishet black men have. It's like they so woke on race, but when you get to the other intersectional levels of oppression, like misogyny, homophobia, transphobia, you know, non-binary issues and things of that nature, they get sleep. You know what I mean? It's like, what good is us getting free if we're just going to replace what was oppressing us? You know what I mean? That's not freedom. That's not liberation. I'm not saying you can't be angry. Not saying you can't be militant, but you got to have strategy. He had no strategy. His goal, his plan basically was just give niggas guns.
Right. I heard about this vibranium shit. What's good? Like,
right.
Load me up with a 10-pound.
Give niggas guns, and that's it. No thought of the future of Wakanda. Not any thought of the future of the world. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, they can't know everything that's going on because it's more like a concentrated movie on Black Panther, like a civil war and stuff. But they know what's coming. Like Armageddon is soon upon us. Infinity War is in a couple of months. Like, nigga, you would gave him the whole world fucking vibranium, and the world descended into chaos, and Thanos just come through and wreck every fucking thing. Now, in fairness, he probably gonna wreck everything anyway. But niggas will have a more concentrated force and effort with T'Challa as king than fucking Killmonger. You know what I mean? Like, Eric, like, he was very short-sighted. He was flawed. He had some good points and ideals, but it was very flawed and very short-sighted. And again, like, he killed. I mean, for God's sakes. And speaking of niggas being asleep, because I saw some people, and again, it was sadly black men, and again, you know, I mean, I don't like talking about it. Well, I don't like bashing, quote unquote. I don't like getting on black men, whatever. I am a black man, a cishet black man, but when we wrong, we wrong. Well, when we wrong, we wrong. I saw some black men today kind of downplaying what some black women were saying that Killmonger's treatment of the black women in the movie mirrored a lot of the abusive black like real life, like black leaders and pro-black niggas who are pro-black and black and shit, but also abusive towards women, and particularly black women in proximity. And some people brought that point up, and, you know, we got the typical, you know, y'all too sensitive, y'all starting a gender war, quote unquote, and it's like, but y'all wonder why people talk shit about black men, is because we don't even try to understand shit that's not race. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even saying you have to necessarily agree with that take, but why? But why do you have to be so against it? You know what I mean? Why you have to be so like outside of the realm of possibility that you know what? You know what? Being that I'm not a black woman and I don't see I don't experience the level of, sexism and misogyny and stuff like they do and abuse and stuff that they do. Maybe let me just shut up and not try to be against it. I'm not saying I have to agree or even agree or whatever, but I can shut the hell up. Sometimes you don't, sometimes to be effective, you don't necessarily have to be for something, but you don't have to be against something either. Right. You can just shut the hell up. You can just chill. Like, you don't have to have a hot take on everything. You know what I mean? Like, you don't think Killmonger was necessarily extremely aggressive against black women than he was everybody else he killed in the movie? That's cool. That's okay. But you're going to have to be against the point that black women are trying to make or dismiss the point black women are making. Because, one, it's a valid point. If you go through history and look at some of these black pro-black power movement stuff, you do see a trail of abuse that black men have perpetrated against black women in these movements. Shit, look at the Black Panther Party. And then two, why would you try to poo-poo that very powerful and important point just because you disagree with it in this one movie? Like, this one movie erases the entire conversation.
Because niggas gonna nig.
Right, because niggas is gonna nig, niggas is gonna nig, and I don't know who I hate more, niggas or flies. I do despise.
I hate the niggas more personally.
I mean, it's fine. Yeah. But yeah. So is that anything else on Killmonger?
I got nothing else.
Yeah, I like him. He's an interesting villain. I do sympathize with him up to a certain extent. But yeah, that nigga, he was not right. That nigga was trash. That nigga was trash. T'Challa's growth in the movie. What did you think about T'Challa?
I like the vulnerability of, like, his first visit with the ancestors, where he was like, "I'm not ready. I don't think I'm ready." Because again, this all happened so suddenly and so immediately after the big conflict of Civil War.
I think this movie takes place a week after Civil War.
Right, like it's right after it. Oh goodness, excuse me. But yeah, to hear his admission of, like, yeah, no, I probably not as ready for this as I should be, it wasn't inspiring. Let me not overstate it. It was a healthy admission. We'll just say, let's go with that.
Yeah.
And I guess it's one of those things. It's kind of like in The Lion King. Simba dies and Mufasa dies. Simba's got to run away, and he does run away, and he's got to, like, go find himself. Except, it wasn't a warthog and a
right.
It wasn't a warthog and a meerkat helping him along. It was, again, like his peers, basically. And it was like, yo, like, step into the lab, check out all this fly gear you get. Don't freeze up, which is another hilarious part.
Right. Don't you froze. Yes, I loved it. Loved it.
And seeing him come out of, again, each segment of that movie, each meaningful segment of that movie, a little more prepared, just to get his shit wrecked by the outsider anyway.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Eric beat his ass.
Yeah, it was just like, wow, they structured this to, like, put flaws in the movie, and
yeah, but
I feel like putting flaws in the movie, I feel like it served as a perfect way to, like, balance, gender, because again, it was, like, someone who wants to go, like, full on, bob cut with bangs and large rim glasses would, like, launch into, like, this great big tirade about the patriarchy and what have you. I'm not going to do that here because there's nothing to gain there. But seeing him align, like, with the women in his life and learn from them and gain from them and grow like through them.
Yeah.
Was inspiring in a way that, again, it balanced gender in a way that was very masterfully handled, and it didn't make it seem like, oh well, a woman had to do this for him, or
Yeah.
oh Lord, here go these feminists, singular.
Right. Right.
These feminists, plural, singular.
Right. None of it felt forced. Nothing. Excuse me. Nothing in the movie felt forced to me.
Right. And so why it matters is, again, like, again, you got this guy who suddenly like has to be like the leader and has to rely on the people around him, has to rely on the shaman to like guide him through. And by the end of his conflict with Killmonger, who, you know, right or wrong, took himself out of the game before they could negotiate, hey, like, there's a place for you. There's a place for like these feelings you feel. It's just not going to be like through threatening elders and everything else. Like, by then he was ready.
Yeah.
By the end of that conflict, he was ready.
Yeah, he's going to be, and I think this was, especially knowing like they've already said like in the MCU, like he's going to start taking more of a leadership role. I feel like this movie was definitely necessary for his growth as a leader, as a future leader in the Avengers, and going forward in the MCU. I feel like this was a necessary, and I feel like everything you just said, the women, and also I feel like Eric was part of his growth too, in a way. Like he had to, because you know, like I said, it was a reflection of himself. Like even some of Eric's lines, while honest to, you know, not exactly the same, obviously, because two different movies, but two different people. But like some of his lines, like I felt like T'Challa said them out, you know, again, obviously differently, but he said them in Civil War, like that anger that he felt like he was T'Challa, how T'Challa was in Civil War, and like it was like almost like T'Challa was looking at a mirror himself and a conflict with himself and his rage and also his sadness and all his emotions, balancing it out to be king. His dad flat out told him, "You're a good man with a good heart, and that makes it hard for you to. That's gonna make it hard for you to be a king," which is true. You know, because being king ain't, you know, like it's really not necessarily a good thing for a person a man with a good heart, because you're gonna have to make tough decisions. You're gonna have to make unpopular decisions. You're gonna have to govern and rule justly and firmly, but also lovingly, you know. And you're gonna have to, you know, make sure you got you know, good people around you. So if you do falter, they can pick you up, but then you can also learn from them, and they can help guide you. You know, as being a great ruler. And I feel like this movie and the supporting cast, like, it was necessary. Now, all that being said, I want to harken back on something. Eric did whoop his ass, and kind of low key probably what's my man? I forget his name. Of the Jabbar, the head of the Jabbar tribe. M'Baku. And low key, M'Baku kind of whooped his ass too on the lowest key. Not like by a landslide, but he was giving him a go.
He got some licks off.
Yeah, but Eric won. Would literally train himself into being a killing machine. And also, I mean, let's take it back a little bit. Let's get it back. T'Challa was giving niggas work in Civil War, and that was before he went to Wakanda, back to Wakanda, and got crowned king. Cause I don't know if he had the heart-shaped flower before or after. I really don't know. If someone can correct me on that, please feel free. But I don't think he did, because he didn't go back and get crowned king until this movie. So he was giving niggas work in Civil War. So the fact that people were trying to play him like he still ain't that nigga, because a nigga that literally trained himself to be a killing machine and was driven by anger got the best of him. That was very interesting to me, because also you got to factor into the equation. One, they just had that fight right after T'Challa found out the truth about his dad killing Eric's dad, killing his uncle, and then on top of that, Eric killed Zuri right in front of T'Challa. So the nigga was already fucked up emotionally any damn way. Because T'Challa even said when he tried to come into and challenge him for the throne, T'Challa knew who he was. He was like, the only reason I'm not killing you is because I know the truth and I know who you are. So he was already fucked up, and like he was like, I get it, my nigga, but you can't come up in here disrespecting and trying to take this throne. Like, he was already fucked up emotionally, and then him killing Zuri right in front of him. Nigga, you ain't gonna be on the best of your game dealing with all that emotional turmoil, and you gotta fight your fucking cousin to the death. Like, ain't nobody gonna be at the top of their game for that shit. It was easy for Eric to be at the top of his game because he was driven by hate and anger. He didn't give a fuck. It's easy for people that don't give a fuck to be like that, to be at the top of their game. When people do give a fuck, and especially if you fight somebody that you give a fuck about, you ain't gonna be at the top of your game. That's why.
By the way, I'm looking at these pictures of Letitia Wright and Lupita Nyong'o that they took for Teen Vogue, and they look like cousins that grew up together. Like, not even bullshitting.
I see it. Speaking of Lupita, her ass. So I didn't know that Lupita had all that going on back there, but God is good
all the time.
And all the time, God is good.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah. So, is it any? Let's see. I like. Let's see. I can't think of anything else. Is there anything else you wanted to
add? Yes. Please don't bark at white people peeking out of turn at work.
Listen, let me tell you something. Yeah, don't do that, but listen, let me tell you something. That
outside of work, oh yeah, all bets is off.
That shit was fucking. And M'Baku, he also, I also enjoyed him, and I took a quiz, like, one of the little BuzzFeed quiz, like which Black Panther character are you, and that's who I got. And I can see it, because when he said, "Are you done?" that's definitely some shit I would say. That is definitely me. Are you done? Are you done? Are you done? Do not speak. I will feed you to my children.
Just kidding. We are vegetarians.
We're vegetarians. Also, I'm glad that him and I'm good. That's another testament of T'Challa's growth, where he could get the Jabari tribe, who had defected essentially for years, to kind of get in the ranks. And I like also, again, fuck Wakabi. He made M'Baku, M'Baku took his seat at the council at the end of the movie. So I don't know what they're gonna do. And listen, let me tell you something. Speaking of him, fuck him, but you saw how that nigga, you saw his face when Okai said, when he tried to gaslight her saying, "Would you really kill me, my love?" And she said, and she was like, "For Wakanda," without hesitation. That nigga looked shocked,
yes,
but also turned on. he didn't know whether to be hurt or aroused. You know that meme that I always use, that damn reaction pick of Mello looking sexy. He didn't know to be like, really? Or so we have no sex after this? Or, right?
So what you're saying is,
right. He was like, so is that spill the only thing you're gonna be throwing? Or
All right, that's enough. That's enough.
Oh,
That's enough.
okay, all right. But yes, go see Black Panther. It is absolutely amazing. It is one of the best movies I've seen in a very, very long time. If you want to just have jokes with it, that's okay. If you want to have deep discussion about it, that's okay too. Before we list my boy Bucky, that they done gave that nigga some all the juices and berries because that motherfucker hair was fucking luxurious in the post credit. That motherfucker came out that goddamn tent. His hair was flowing like he was a goddamn Pantene commercial. Hey, shout out my predecessor, my future president. Nothing but respect for my president. But yeah, go see Black Panther if you can. If you haven't seen it, go see it. I hope everybody enjoyed it. It was great. It's one of the best movies that I've seen, and I can't wait. Next up is Infinity War, and we don't even have to wait that long for Infinity War. I think it's what, May?
Like what, 4 months, 3 months? Yeah, super close.
Yeah, super close. So we're gonna have Infinity War, and it's gonna be lit. And then Ant-Man and the Wasp coming out soon too. So Marvel is not playing. They just want all of our money. And you know what? At this point, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, right.
I'm okay with it. You know, who are me? Who are me? So yeah, I know there's other podcasts that's probably discussing it at more length and even probably more nuance than we did. But we hope y'all enjoyed us talking about it. Oh, go ahead, Bianca, you finish that.
No, I had nothing.
Okay. But yes. So, thank you to everyone that wished me happy birthday last week. I appreciate it.
Check out Comic Book Chronicles right here on the CSPN.
Mm-hmm.
The Black Panther review is posted as a Saturday, so if you like us and you want to hear people who are a lot more into this than even we are discuss the movie, definitely check out again Comic Book Chronicles. It's episode number 252 is their discussion, and also it looks like the Bad and Boozy podcast also did a little talk about some Wakanda related things.
Mm-hmm. And so yeah, so check them out. Check out a variety of different Black podcasts this month. It's Black History Month. We're wrapping up, but it's not too late. Check out a variety of Black podcasts. Give them a listen. Give them a chance. And leave them a review. Leave them a 5-star rating and review. You know, support. No Killer Mike, but support Black podcasts and support.
Oh my goodness.
I know, right? Support Black podcast. You know, it's Black History Month, and what better way to give back to the ancestors than to give to the ones that's going today and support their work and support their art. One more thing, speaking of fucking Eric, that motherfucker said, "Bury me in the ocean with my ancestors." I was like, boy. You spent the fucking movie destroying shit that your ancestors built. Like, the fuck? Nigga, you about to fucking destroy Wakanda. You talking about your damn ancestors. Boy, fuck you. But anyway, that's late.
And aside from that, how many generations of ancestors could he really have had that went through the triangle trade anyway?
Right.
Anyway. I mean, I get what he's saying, overarching really wide base. Don't at me about this. But
yeah.
Again, it just seemed real finicky of a line, like in that moment. Anyway, but
yeah.
could you imagine, like if there was a scene after Shuri was sent to again Oakland,
which I thought speaking of that, I thought that was really dope of T'Challa, by the way.
To do that Wakandan outreach in the National Outpost. Could you imagine the cliffhanger it would have been if you had seen like Killmonger's like the top of his head and like him like leaning over something, like working on something or whatever, just really intently, mostly out of focus in the lab, like just a shot of like the lab and how like nothing's going on in it, but then like you hear like the slight rustling, and it's like Killmonger like fiddling with something or whatever, like got his head down, focused on something. Because that could mean either he was about to fuck shit up from within the lab, or he accepted T'Challa's condition to help out in the kingdom of Wakanda in some meaningful way.
That would have been very dope.
That would have been fire, and you would not have had to over-explain it, and you could have left it.
It would have made sense,
and you could have left it unexplained.
Yeah. Even if you left it unexplained, it still would have made sense. But that would have been so fucking dope. But I think it.
But yeah, I mean, Killmonger accepted, like he took death over, whatever. So
yeah. But yeah, I think that's it for us. So thank you all for listening. Thank you all for supporting. Again, go follow Bianca on a new page. Again, don't be a head ass.
Because you will get clapped silly. And I don't have 3,000 followers, but you might. And yeah, you don't want that embarrassment in your life.
So with this has been Crown and Collars, episode 156. Fuck with us, and share the show, like the show, leave us a review and a rating. We'll read it during some of our lighter episodes, and we'll be back next week. And we are out.
Giving you all the heat that you can feel.
Bye.
Peace.